Lucia, my husband has traveled to Lagos, so I have a chance to go out with you. I've never been to a nightclub before, and I really want to know how it feels. I want to know what it's like to dance all night and sleep outside my house. I've begged my husband many times to take me, but he refused. Why can't I enjoy what other women enjoy, I've been a good girl all my life. I listened to my parents, never disobeyed. I even got married as a virgin. I've kept myself for years, so I think I deserve one night of fun. Please, on your way to the club, stop by and pick me up. Purity stood on the balcony of their one-story building, holding her phone as she spoke with her best friend Lucia. She watched people walking on the street. She had just stepped outside to get fresh air when Lucia called to invite her to a birthday party at a nightclub around midnight. Truly, Purity had always been a good and obedient girl, raised in a Christian home with strict rules, and she followed them all. She was known for her purity and never dated anyone until she met her husband Chima. He was the first man in every way. People in her community used to point at her as the perfect example. See Purity, always respectful and obedient, be like her. Parents told their children. Now, at 26, married and free from parental control, Purity wanted to experience the things she once stayed away from. There were so many things she avoided just to remain pure. But now, I'm a married woman. Under my husband's roof, I can't keep living like a child. My parents used to say once I get married, I can enjoy life. I think I've earned this fun. Thank God Chima traveled. Let me go and get ready. She rushed into her room, opened the wardrobe and checked for something to wear, but everything looked too big or too decent for a club. She called Lucia again. All my clothes cover everything. I don't have any sexy clothes. That's not club wear now. You need to look hot and attractive. Lucia laughed. Hot and attractive for who? Please I'm not looking for another man. I just want to dance and return home. Recommend something decent. Don't worry, I'll bring the perfect dress for you. You like it, Lucia said. By 6 p.m, Lucia arrived. She wanted to come early so she could help Purity prepare. They had time to try on clothes and do makeup. Lucia, this clothes is too short and too open. I'm married. This one is not right. I can't even wear this to go buy water, let alone a nightclub. Purity protested. Purity. Aren't you tired of being too decent? Just this once. Be free. Life is short. Look, you are beautiful and tonight is your night. Trust me, you enjoy yourself. After some convincing, Purity wore the dress. With the makeup and accessories, she looked like a celebrity. She even imagined what Chima would say if he saw her like that. By 11:30 p.m, they drove to the club. The lights, music, and people filled Purity with excitement. It felt magical. I love this place, she said as she took a glass of wine from Lucia. She sat near a man also drinking. After a few sips, she started feeling dizzy. She didn't know when she slept off. The next morning, Purity woke up at home. She sat up confused. How did I get here? She touched her body. Nothing hurt. The last thing she remembered was holding a drink and talking to a man. She called Lucia. What happened? You got drunk, so I brought you home. Purity didn't feel okay. Her head was heavy. As she removed her clothes, she saw that her underwear was gone. Then she noticed something strange in her body. She froze. Oh God, what happened to me? She started crying. I'm in my fertile period. God, please don't let me get pregnant. Who will believe me? Weeks passed. Her period didn't come. She bought a test strip, ran the test, and it came out positive. I'm pregnant. My God, what have I done? Who touched me? I don't even know his name. Her heart broke. Her husband was not even in town that night. She had no one to blame but herself. The next day, Chima returned from Lagos. Are you okay, honey? Chima asked as he looked at his wife with concern. It was 9 p.m. and they had just finished dinner. He sat in the living room couch while Purity rested her head on his chest. You've been acting strangely since I came back from Lagos. Is something bothering you? You know I'm your husband. If anything is wrong, tell me. I'll fix it immediately. Or have I offended you in any way? Purity lifted her head slowly and forced a smile. My dear husband, nothing is wrong. I'm just missing you. The house felt empty when you traveled. It was lonely, but now that you're back, I feel whole again. You've done nothing wrong. In fact, you're the best husband any woman can ask for. She was lying and it was killing her. She had never lied to Chima before, but how could she explain that she was pregnant and he wasn't the father? She couldn't tell him she went to a nightclub, got drunk and was touched by a stranger. Every day that passed, the burden grew heavier. Her guilt made her sick and her body was getting weaker. The baby inside her was growing and she couldn't keep hiding it forever. So 2 months passed. The pregnancy could no longer be hidden. Her belly was beginning to show. I can't lie and say that the baby is his, she thought. He will eventually find out. I have to know who the real father is before doing anything else. She decided to go see Lucia, the only person who was with her that night. Lucia, I've not asked you this before, but who brought me home that night? It was my boyfriend. He drove us home. After dropping, he also dropped me and then went back home. Lucia, I'm asking because I'm pregnant. I checked the morning after that night and noticed male fluid in my body. I didn't feel pain, but I'm sure a man touched me while I was unconscious. The baby isn't my husband's. Lucia's eyes widened. How can you be so sure? You've lived with your husband before that night. The baby could be his. Just tell Chima it's his child and move on. No, Lucia. I tested myself the day he traveled. It was negative. He left that same day. There's no way this baby is his. I'm not going to pin another man's child on my husband. Lucia looked uncomfortable. Then what are you going to do? I want to know who the father is. That's why I'm asking you to help me. Can I get your boyfriend's number? Lucia stood up annoyed. Wait, are you saying my boyfriend is the one who touched you? I didn't say that, but he was there that night, so he's a suspect. I need answers. Please, give me his number. No, I won't let you accuse my boyfriend. Okay then, can you at least ask me yourself? Please, just ask. You want me to ask my boyfriend if he touched my best friend? Purity, that's an insult. Lucia, we were all drunk that night. Anything could have happened. Lucia shook her head and raised her voice. Purity, go home. Tell your husband he's the father. He'll accept the baby and no one will ever know what happened. I can't do that. I need to find out the truth. And how will you do that, eh? You don't even remember what happened. That's why I need your help. Lucia was now shouting. Please leave my house and don't come back. Lucia, I only want the truth, please. Purity pleaded. But Lucia opened the door and pushed her out. On her way home, Purity cried bitterly. She had no one else to talk to. Then she made up her mind she would tell her husband the truth. Here's your food, Chima said lovingly, placing a tray on the bed beside his wife. I made your favorite, fried eggs, toast and tea. After eating, go and bathe. I already boiled hot water for you. And for lunch, you can have the fried rice from yesterday. I warmed it too. I've called the doctor and I've booked your antenatal appointment. Tomorrow you'll start your hospital visit. He buttoned his shirt, grabbed his tie and quickly dashed off. Take good care of yourself, my love, he said before leaving for work. Purity sat on the bed, confused and scared. I told my husband that I'm pregnant and not by him, and instead of being angry, he brought me breakfast in bed. What kind of man reacts like this? I thought he would scream, shout, even slap me, but instead, he became nicer. Is he planning something evil? She got off the bed and paced around the room, feeling trapped. This can't be normal. Chima has never been this sweet. I'm scared he's pretending to be kind so he can kill me silently. She walked to the bathroom to bathe but paused. What if he poured acid in the water? Maybe he wants to kill me and make it look like an accident. She slowly pushed the bucket, letting all the hot water spill onto the floor. Then she added more water from the tap to clean the bucket, convinced it was poison. Why didn't he get angry? He clearly had me last night. I confessed everything. Any man would react violently, but not Chima. He's too calm. She returned to the bedroom, picked up the tray carefully like it was a bomb, and tiptoed to the toilet. She dumped all the food in and flushed it. No way I'm eating this. He wants to poison me. Still suspicious,
She put on her clothes and rushed to Lucia's house. Lucia, I told Chima the truth, and guess what? He didn't get angry. He made breakfast for me like nothing happened. Can you believe it? Wow, that's great news, Lucia smiled. No, it's not. It's scary. Who does that? I'm pregnant for another man and he's calm like nothing happened. He even boiled water for me to bathe. I'm sure he's planning something wicked. I can't stay in that house another night. I think you have a point. If I were you, I'll be scared too. You can stay with me for as long as you want. Thank you, Lucia. I'll stay here until I'm sure I'm safe. But later that night, Lucia went behind Purity's back and drove to Chima's house. Chima was at home, sitting in the living room holding his phone. Have you seen my wife? He asked Lucia as soon as she entered. She's not home. I've been trying to call her but her phone is switched off. Lucia lied. I haven't seen her either. That's why I came here to check. Maybe she went out to buy something. I'm worried. She never goes out at night. Don't worry. Let me stay with you tonight so that we can find her together. 2 heads are better than 1. Lucia walked into the kitchen without asking for permission. Should I make food for you? Do you like hot water or cold water for bathing? Chima stared at her, shocked. But before he could reply, Lucia was already preparing food. She smiled while cooking. In her mind, she had one goal: spend the night with Chima and make it count. That night, Lucia and Chima had their first night together. Where did you go last night? Purity asked Lucia as soon as she returned in the morning. You never told me you were not coming back. You should have called. I felt so lonely. Is your boyfriend still sick? Lucia yawned and dropped her bag. He's very sick. I had to stay and care for him. He could barely move last night. But thank God, he's better now. Purity looked relieved. Sorry, I was just worried. How is he doing this morning? He can walk on his own today. Yesterday, he couldn't even get up without my help, Lucia said, walking into the kitchen. As Lucia prepared food, Purity followed her. I want to return to my husband's house this evening. I can't stay away forever. I'm a married woman, and even though I made a mistake, he hasn't sent me out. I left on my own because I was afraid. But the fear may not even be real. He hasn't done anything to me. I feel it's time to go back and face the consequences. Lucia stopped what she was doing and turned. Do you want to die? No, that's why I'm going back, to talk things out. I can't live in fear forever. Lucia's eyes widened. She dropped the spoon in her hand. I had a dream last night, she said dramatically. What dream? Purity asked with concern. In the dream, I saw Chima poisoning the food he gave you. If you had eaten it, you would have died. Purity stepped back slowly, fear rising in her. Are you sure about this? She asked with trembling lips. I'm very sure. The food was poison. That's why I'm begging you not to go back. Your life and your baby's life are in danger. Purity stood frozen for a moment. Thank you for telling me. I'll stay here for now, she said softly, and picked up a spoon to eat the golden morn Lucia was preparing. But later that evening, Lucia sneaked out again and went back to Chima's house without telling Purity. She lied that she was going to see her sick boyfriend. Around 9 p.m., Chima was watching TV when Lucia arrived at his house again. What are you doing here? Chima asked, standing up. I told you this morning I don't want you here unless my wife is around. Why are you back? Why are you pretending? Didn't you enjoy last night? Why are you acting like nothing happened? Instead of pretending, just thank me. What are you talking about? I don't even remember what happened last night. What did you do to me? I slept like a log. I couldn't even go to work. What did you put in my drink? Lucia smiled, then walked closer and tried to touch him. Chima pushed her hand away. Then Lucia pulled out a handkerchief and blew something into Chima's face. Instantly, he fell asleep again, deeply, just like the night before. Lucia dragged him into the bedroom. That night, she had bedroom action with Chima a second time, aiming to get pregnant before Purity returned. Lucia, you keep going out every night, Purity said one morning as Lucia returned from another night away. I understand your boyfriend is sick, but this is getting strange. It's been weeks. I'm always alone in this house. She sat on the edge of the chair, clearly upset. I think I should go back to my husband. I've packed my things already. Lucia was calm. She picked an apple from the table and took a big bite. I stayed with my boyfriend again last night. His sickness got worse again. I almost took him to the hospital. But don't worry, I'm here now to take care of you and your baby. You could have at least called me. How is he? He's getting better. Lucia answered and rushed to the kitchen for food. Later that evening, Lucia left quietly again without telling Purity where she was going. In reality, she wasn't going to see any sick boyfriend. She drove quickly, hoping to reach Chima's house before Purity, and on the way out, she saw Purity standing at the street corner waiting for a taxi. Lucia quickly turned to another street to avoid her. "We'll meet at your husband's house," Lucia whispered to herself as she sped up. "You'll see and hear things you never expected." Lucia had only one goal: to confront Chima and take over as his woman. She was now pregnant and ready to reveal everything. "I did what I had to do. I got pregnant before she returned. My baby is growing. Now it's time to expose the truth." She drove straight to Chima's house, parked and entered boldly. She made herself comfortable, turned on the TV, got a chilled drink from the fridge and sat down like the lady of the house. Minutes later, Chima returned from work and opened the door. He froze when he saw Lucia. "What are you doing here again?" he barked. "I told you to stop coming to my house. Do you want me to call the police?" Lucia sipped her drink calmly, ignoring his anger. "I told you never to come here again," Chima repeated. Lucia said nothing. She sat like a queen waiting for a servant to bow. Just then, the front door opened. Purity walked in. She gasped, "Lucia, what are you doing here in my husband's house?" Lucia stood up slowly. "As you can see, I'm home." "What are you saying? Last I checked, I'm Chima's wife, not you. What's going on here?" Lucia gave her a cold smile. "You understand soon. Chima, it's time we tell her." Chima stood there silently, shocked to see both women facing each other. "There's fire on the mountain," he whispered. "So you really thought I would let you and Purity enjoy peace after what you did to me?" Lucia shouted at Chima. Her hands were on her waist, her voice loud and angry. "You thought I'll forget how you ruined my life, that I wouldn't come for revenge?" Chima stood in silence. "You knew I was going to come back. You knew I was going to make you pay for what you did to me. And now I'm here as your punishment." Purity stood beside them, confused. She was trying to understand what was going on. "Why are you talking to my husband like this?" Purity asked. "Lucia, what's happening? Why are you disrespecting him in our house?" Lucia ignored her. "Chima, you better open your mouth and talk, or should I say everything myself?" Purity turned to her husband. "Please tell me what's going on. I don't want to get angry. Just tell me the truth." Lucia scoffed. "Don't worry, I will explain." She turned to Purity. "Your husband got me pregnant before your wedding." Purity gasped. "Yes, it happened about a month before your wedding. He was dating both of us. I told him I was pregnant. He begged me to keep quiet so he could go ahead and marry you." Lucia smiled bitterly. "I wanted to keep the baby, but he forced me to get rid of it. He took me to a restaurant, gave me a drink that ended the pregnancy. I almost died. While you were having your wedding, I was in the hospital. I lied that I traveled abroad, but the truth is, I was fighting for my life." Purity stared at Chima in shock. "Is this true?" Chima kept quiet. Purity turned back to Lucia. "Don't tell me you are the one who planned what happened to me at the nightclub." Lucia nodded boldly. "Yes, I brought the man who touched you. I made it happen. It was revenge." Purity's eyes widened even more. "Why?" "Because I wanted to take what you had. I wanted Chima for myself, and now I'm pregnant again. This time with his child. He will marry both of us." Chima looked alarmed. "That's a lie." Lucia laughed. "You don't remember what happened that night? I gave you something to drink. You slept off and I made sure I got pregnant before Purity returned." Purity turned to her husband, now trembling. "Chima, is this true? Did you sleep with her? Please talk before I go crazy." Chima sighed and sat down slowly. Let me explain. I never wanted to betray you, honey. Chima began. Everything started because of her jealousy. She has always been envious of what we had. She tricked me. Purity folded her arms. Her face was hard. What do you mean she tricked you? Did you or did you not sleep with her? She forced herself on me, Chima said. She invited me to her house, saying you were there and sick. I rushed over to help. She gave me a drink. I didn't know she added something inside. I became very weak. I couldn't move. Lucia interrupted. Lies! How can a woman force a man? He enjoyed everything. He's lying now because he was caught. I didn't enjoy anything, Chima shouted. I kept telling her no, but she didn't stop. Purity turned to him. But how do you remember everything if you were unconscious? Because I wasn't totally unconscious. I remember her touching me, saying I belonged to her, not you. Purity held her head. This is too much to take. Chima continued. The same thing happened to you too. Didn't you tell me someone touched you while you were drunk? You didn't even know who it was. I believed you because I had the same experience with Lucia. Lucia hissed. This is nonsense. You were enjoying it. Don't twist the story. I have proof, Chima said. He brought out his phone and played an audio recording. In the recording, Lucia was welcoming Chima, offering him a drink and later saying, you belong to me, not Purity. She doesn't deserve you. Purity's mouth fell open. When the audio ended, she walked up to Lucia and slapped her hard. You betrayed me? My own best friend? They started fighting. Chima tried to separate them, but the fight grew intense. Purity pushed Lucia, who fell on the glass table. It broke and a sharp piece pierced her belly. Lucia screamed and began bleeding heavily. Chima and Purity rushed out to the car and headed straight to the hospital. In the back seat, Lucia rested her head on Purity's lap. I'm sorry, Purity, she whispered. I was jealous. I didn't mean to destroy your life. She's talking, Purity shouted. Thank God she's still alive. Lucia coughed. I just wanted what you had. I thought if I could take Chima, I'd finally feel happy, but I was wrong. As they reached the hospital, nurses rushed out to take her in. Doctors began battling to save her. Purity and Chima waited at the reception, both quiet and shaking. I didn't mean to hurt her, Purity said. I just lost control. I feel so terrible. She deserved it, Chima muttered, playing with his phone. You don't care that she might die? She wanted to destroy us. I'm glad she failed. Chima, what kind of a thing are you saying? A nurse walked in. Lucia wants to see you both. They walked into the ward. Lucia looked weak and pale. Tubes were connected to her hands. I'm sorry, she said, her voice low. Purity, please forgive me. Everything your husband said was true. I was jealous. I was wrong. I forgive you, Purity said, crying. Please stay alive. Don't die. Lucia looked at Chima. I don't know if you ever forgive me, but I am sorry. She gave one last sigh and her eyes closed forever. Purity screamed and fainted, hitting her ribs on the metal bed. She lost the baby she was carrying. Purity lay unconscious in the hospital ward. She had fainted after seeing Lucia give up the ghost. The doctors worked quickly to revive her. 30 minutes later, a doctor walked up to Chima. His face was serious but calm. She will survive, he said, but she lost the baby. One of her ribs broke when she fell. Chima held his head. Thank God she's alive, he said. But deep inside, he felt relief that the baby was gone. He didn't want to raise a child that wasn't his. Later that day, Chima sat beside Purity as she woke up. I'm sorry, she whispered weakly. I'm sorry I went to the club without telling you. I thought I deserved a little fun, but I nearly lost everything. Chima took her hand. It wasn't your fault. Your friend deceived you. You didn't know she had evil plans. One thing I've learned, some friends pretend to love you, but deep down they envy everything you have. They either want to share it or steal it. Purity stared into his eyes. I love you. I love you too, Purity, Chima said gently.
A month later, Purity was discharged from the hospital. Her physical wounds had healed, but memories remained fresh. She looked around their home as she stepped in, the same house where she had once been scared to live in. "I still can't believe all this happened," she said softly. Chima smiled faintly. "We've been through a lot, but we're still standing." Purity nodded. "I've learned that fun without wisdom can lead to pain. I've also learned that love without truth is dangerous. But most of all, I've learned to be more careful with the people I trust." Chima held her hand. "From now on, it's just you and me." Purity gave him a tired but sincere smile. Their home was quiet again, but their hearts had changed forever.